this was it. Live or die. You had to have one of those.
Live or die?
Well, your choice is if you want to live, you need to pick
live or die.
Yeah.
It's a live or die. What kind of ice cream is that? Ice cream with liver and die in it?
I wouldn't put it past it.
Somebody made liver flavored ice cream. Oh.
Yes, well. Gdayall, and welcome to episode 32, Ice Cream and Milkshakes. All right, how many flavors does Baskin Robbins have?
31.
31, so we're
one for each day of the week.
Of the week, of the month?
Of the month, yeah. That's right. It's only 7 days in a week, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So this must be a leap month, because we're up to 32.
Okay, well, 32 episodes. There you go.
Hello, Phil. What is your favorite flavor?
My favorite flavor, butter pecan.
Oh, I love that.
Butter pecan, yeah. And pistachio.
Mm-hmm.
And I like pistachios with dark cherries in it. Like you used to get in New York at the Chinese restaurants.
Oh, I never had that.
I think it was just made for them. I don't know why.
We used to, I had, before matcha was a thing, like our Japanese restaurant at home, I'd have green tea ice cream.
Oh, macho. Not macho.
Matcha.
Like Macho Man. Yeah. So would the green hunk be called the Macho Man now?
Okay, right. Oh, wait, where's the
Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning. We have not had enough coffee yet. This is another morning record, so you guys tell us what you like better. We're falling asleep in the morning or in the afternoon.
Okay, we got some big announcements coming up.
We do. So
wake up, people.
It's just like a fryer fire.
Fire.
Okay, there's a couple of, as you said, there's some significant changes. We appreciate you guys listening to us, and we got to talk to a few when we were in the store, and people had listened to us.
And critiquing ourselves now.
Which we take very seriously.
So one of the main things we're going to do is we're going to try to keep the podcast down to less than an hour.
That's
right.
right.
So this way you can listen to us all the way to work, all the way home.
Or if you're on the Monash, you can listen to 2 episodes. So the same one over again if you need to.
And if you're listening to us in the shower, enjoy it.
And the secret code is now going to work differently.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So tell us how, Barbara.
Okay, I shall tell you how. On the USA Foods website, which is usafoods.com.au, there will be a listener discount logo. You'll find it because it kind of looks like our logo. It's purple. It says listener discount. So really don't ignore that. And it's got arrows. So pointing you to the way to click it. And then there will be an assortment of special items. There'll be an assortment of special items that will request the secret code. So sometimes the special items may include discount shipping, which everyone loves discount shipping.
Yep, that's a favorite.
That is a favorite. There's going to be some special things related to the podcast themes. And the secret code will now be updated monthly.
So I only got to do once a month.
That's it.
And then repeat it 3 times.
That's right. And click on the listener code logo. And so the code for, here it says the month of May, but I refer to it as my birthday month.
Oh.
Okay, so the birthday month of May is Smile.
Oh, smile.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah. Okay, also what we found out is that our secret codes, even though you listen to some of the older ones, never go away.
Oh, yes.
So they're good for a one-time use for anybody who wants to use it, even if there was broadcast at our first one or our third one, whatever. You could still use that code as long as you haven't used it before.
That's awesome.
Because then the computer will throw you out.
Because sometimes you find a really good podcast like us, but you go, they have 30 before this. I'm going to go back and start from the beginning.
Yes.
So jump on in and you can use those. Also, buried amongst the podcast somewhere will be a one-off short window.
And this won't happen every time. It'll just be periodic.
That's
but it'll
right.
be a really good special. So it'll be like, say, an additional, say, 20% off of blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Or it might even be something like half price shipping.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. So, and you're also going to have to listen carefully because we don't even know where it's going to go.
That's right. It's going to be down to Brendan, the producer, and he's just going to pop it in there.
That's exactly right. And this item will be...
Go ahead and do this. He's going to pop it in there.
Next week, do you want to get some coconuts? We can do horse hooves too. So there are also, for this sort of promotion, there's going to be a specific deadline announced and applied. So it's going to be so hot that it's limited.
It might only be for 2 days.
Yeah, that's it.
But
so
you don't know until you know.
So make sure you listen on a Wednesday.
Okay, now remember, we got to keep this short. So keep moving. What's the next thing?
Bossiness, both of you.
Go on, 1.6.
Finally, please subscribe. You can subscribe on Apple or Spotify or all those good things. Let people know if you like it and tell your friends about it. And also, you can engage with us and ask us questions, comment on what you think at podcast@usafoods.com.au.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, keep it to yourself. Right? Don't tell anybody.
We'll work harder to improve. Now, back to the show.
Okay, we're going to have 2 halves.
That's it.
First half
is ice cream.
Oh.
So we're going to talk about flavors, evolution, innovation, lingo, history, and interesting stuff, and fun facts.
Okay, fun fact number 1. Top ice cream countries in the world. Guess who's number 1? You would never, if you weren't reading this and you didn't research it, you would never guess it.
No, when I was
surprised. It's like a Jeopardy question. I'll take ice cream for 500, Alex. Who is the top eater of ice cream?
Well, it says New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah. And there's not that many people there, so they must get a good ratio.
Yes. Well, you do see some New Zealand ice cream things around.
Oh, and New Zealand dairy products are lovely, and so is their wine, but, that's how I am. And then number 2 is the good old US of A.
Yep.
And then,
but by difference of like almost 8%.
That is we've got a bunch of people.
Yeah, because the overweight people are more than 8% from New Zealand. Okay.
Oh,
and then followed then by Australia, which is 10% less than New Zealand.
Oh, well, and then let's give it to the Scandinavians.
Yeah.
Finland.
I mean, isn't it cold enough over there?
And in Scandinavia, they eat lots of
fermented fish.
Yes, that's it. Could be in our interesting flavors list. Now, fun fact number 2. So this is a way to get around church and state and all the good things. Ice cream sundaes were invented when it became illegal to sell ice cream sodas on a Sunday in the American town of Evanston during the late 19th century. No one could have fun when the pastor was around.
Yep.
To get around the problem, some traders replaced the soda with syrup and called the dessert an ice cream sundae. They replaced the final Y with an E to avoid upsetting the religious leaders.
Wow.
That's sneaky again. We're like, if we can work a way around something, we do it.
All right. And number 2, war fact. This is a war fact from WW2, the big one.
The big one?
So the Japanese shut down the USS Lexington.
Yep.
Lexington, as they say in New York, the Lexington Avenue in 1942. And the crew broke into the ship's freezer, so I guess they didn't shoot it down because it's a boat. You can't shoot down a boat.
It's probably just going to sink.
Yeah, it's sinking. Yeah, so everybody abandoned the boat. They jumped on. They went into it, and they started eating the ice cream out of the freezer and putting it in their hats.
Well, I love that. Like, get the good stuff out. Forget about the picture of my girl back home. I want the strawberry ice cream in my hat.
Exactly.
And now we'll be back after a break.
So ice cream was first eaten in China in 1618 to 97 AD.
Oh.
King Tang of Shanghai. See, Tang also, like he probably got the name Tang.
For the astronaut drink? Yeah. I don't think so, but no, okay.
All right. So King of Shang made a buffalo milk, flour, and camphor.
Sounds.
And then after they probably put the ice cream because they had the camphor on their mosquito bites. Okay. Whatever.
Right. So hopefully they moved on because the Roman emperors sent slaves to the mountaintops to bring back fresh snow, which they flavored and served as ice cream.
Well, that was like a snow cone.
That would be right.
First snow cone.
The Italians always.
And then Marco
Polo
is believed to have served ice creams being made in China was introduced, and he introduced them from Italy. So he got the ice cream from China. How did he get it back frozen? Or he took the idea and then
I
brought
would
it back
think
to
it would
Italy.
have to be the idea, unless it was really chilly
And
on
he
the
wasn't
travels.
even in the swimming pool. Marco.
Fish out of water.
Yeah.
Okay, and then France was introduced to a similar frozen dessert in 1553 by yet another Italian, Catherine de' Medici, when she became the wife of Henry II of France. So I'm seeing a real Italian thing here.
And then the Michi's been around for a young, and it's still there.
Yes, they are too.
Yep. In fact, I have a cookbook by De Michi.
There you go.
Okay, and wasn't until 1660 the ice cream was made available to the general public. So prior to that, it was just for the elitists.
Yes, that would be right.
Kings and queens and
specials people.
All the hanger-ons. Yeah.
That's right, the court.
The prince, the dukes, the duchess, yeah.
And yes, and maybe they're illegitimate children, and draw the line there.
Okay.
There are the accounts of ice cream being served in the American colonies as early as 1744. And part of that, and a little bit of research, was TJ, good old Thomas Jefferson. That whole France trip really changed how we eat as Americans.
I just got a strange thought. You know, we're talking about before with the ice cream sundaes and the church and banning it and all that. So you being a Catholic, you remember going to mass and remember the little
Is that like
the little bells?
bell?
So I could just see some little kids going, "Mommy, the ice cream is here! The ice cream is here!"
Can I just tell you a funny aside?
Yeah.
My husband, who was an altar boy, he critiques when the bells are rung at mass.
Oh, really?
Because he's a bit early there.
Yeah. Well, we used to have the cheap ones, which was the little jingle bells, the ice cream bells, and then we used to have the nicer churches had the little little mini xylophones, and they used to ding, ding, ding,
I never saw that. You guys were fancy. We were just like laid back Californians, and you think about what we've just talked about. So it sort of moved down. So ice cream sort of migrated.
Yes.
Yeah, down through Europe.
Down from
across to Europe, and then over to the US, and then somehow to Australia and New Zealand, who won the
they
contest.
loved it. Yep.
Now, flavors. So there it was a survey. U.S. adults. So their favorite flavors. Let's see if you can guess what the number one is if you weren't reading it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, it would have to be chocolate and then vanilla.
And then there's strawberry. So chocolate 1 in 5.
Yeah.
So vanilla is 15%, strawberry 8%, mint chocolate chip, which
I don't like.
I have to be in the mood.
Nah, I don't want mint in my chocolate. Sorry.
That's 8%. Butter pecan.
Yeah.
8%. Chocolate chip cookie dough, which is a new thing. We used to have cookies and cream, but the cookie dough one, 6%, and cookies and cream, 6%.
So what was your favorite ice cream other than chocolate and vanilla growing up?
I liked...
Or the first one that you remember that was so different, because you like the flavor.
A black walnut. I had a black walnut one, and I had Mom always liked Jamocha almond fudge from Baskin Robbins. So like a mocha one. And I used to think my Aunt Blynn was so sophisticated because she would get a coffee milkshake.
Wow.
So like the coffee ice cream.
Yeah, I like coffee ice cream.
But I kind of like different things. Chocolate, vanilla didn't really... That wasn't exciting unless it had stuff on it.
And then, your mom bring home the Neapolitan. And of course, it's just like on The Simpsons.
And the vanilla's just left.
No, the strawberry was just left. Whatever.
Oh, Rocky Road. Yeah, now I forgot about that.
I have that. That's what I written down for mine. Because my favorite one. But then I went back to say, okay, that was the favorite one out of an ice cream shop.
Yes.
But my favorite ice cream flavor before that would have been Good Humour. A banana split.
Oh.
And it was an ice cream bar.
Yes.
Right? That tasted, I guess it must have banana ice cream in it. And then, of course, the chocolate shell and probably some strawberry ice cream. I don't know what it was, but it really tasted good.
Oh, well, you see, there's things you just remember. And Tin Roof Sundae. Did you have that? That was, I think, a Breyers did that. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of a Rocky Road theme, except it had peanuts in it. And it had like a ribbon of chocolate sauce. I think I like things with things in them. Like I like, like the Ben & Jerry's with the chunky, and I like when I can pick something out of it and enjoy it. And then seasonally, I love pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie ice cream. That was also Baskin Robbins.
Yeah. Well, that's the only, there was a couple of places. we will talk about some weird flavors, but I have been just killing myself this week trying to ask my mother, Dolores, all my friends. There was this ice cream shop
Yeah.
in my hometown that I
And you
grew up
don't
in.
remember the name?
I cannot remember the name. I can tell you what the clock looked like on the wall.
Right.
I can remember we were ordering something. It was 1976. I remember we had a quarter.
Yep.
That was like the bicentennial quarter. Cannot remember the name. I've tried to look up.
And nobody knows.
No one knows. So
No.
any of my St. Bernard's alumni, jump in. So ice cream, there's some very odd flavors, right? And these are all in the US because sometimes when we find odd flavors, we end up looking at Japan's flavors or some Asian countries.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can say them and I will tell you what's in it.
Oh, well, I can't say the first one. Is
Cicada.
Cicada. Oh, like the bug.
The bug.
The bug. So it makes that noise also.
You know how we talked about a limited promotion?
Yeah.
This is the ultimate limited promotion.
Because nobody ate it.
So this is available in Missouri. It has boiled cicadas that are covered in milk chocolate, dipped in brown sugar. They're then mixed into a brown sugar and buttered flavored ice cream. But the strange concoction is only available when the cicadas are around once every 13 years.
Yeah.
Ew.
Did you try it?
Well, probably because I've tried grasshopper
I've
or
eaten
whatever
crickets.
crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole boiling thing that kind of puts me off. I don't want them. I want them dried out. I don't
Yeah,
want
you want them crunchy. You don't want them soggy.
That's right. I don't want anything popping.
Yeah. Oh, and then in cereal milk.
Yes. So Christina Tosi, who she's awesome. If anyone follows her, she invented this flavor by she had milk and she just let some cornflakes go soggy in it.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then she used it to make recipes.
Yeah.
So it is like tastes like at the end of the bowl when you have that last sip that your mother would say, don't drink
you
it.
have Cocoa Pops or Life cereal or something that has a lot of flavor in it.
That's right. So it is available in New York City.
There you go. Okay. And Vietnamese coffee with, you would love this one.
Yes.
Vietnamese coffee with frosted almonds and peanut butter curry.
Yes, and look where it's from. Good old San Francisco. So this is, to quote them, far from your typical morning cup of joe. Made with decadent blue bottle Vietnamese style coffee. Each batch is zapped with hot curry, creamy peanut butter, and crunchy candied almonds.
I don't know. Well, I guess you got to try it. Then we got pizza.
Well,
I had that last night, but it was hot.
It was hot. It was not the
wasn't
ice cream.
frozen.
Now that's in Pennsylvania. And it whips up a pizza-flavored ice cream using tomato, basil, oregano, salt, and garlic.
It's that's like a sorbet.
It is like a sorbet, but I don't know if I want garlic in my ice cream.
Yeah. How about this one? How about the next one? Cold sweat.
Ha ha! Do you want to guess?
Yeah. Well, I can't because I read it.
That's right. So that has it's from North Carolina, 3 kinds of hot peppers, 2 kinds of hot sauce, and it's a super spicy ice cream. So I guess the coolness of it, you're working against
Oh,
it.
it makes you cold sweat.
Cold sweat.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, why not? And then here's one from our neighbors from the north.
Yes.
Tiger tail.
Tiger tail, which has orange flavored swirled with black licorice. It
I
looks
don't like licorice.
And I don't like orange. So, yeah, now neither one of us will have that.
So we'll leave that up in Canada.
Yeah, Alberta. It can stay there.
Yeah.
Then we've got...
Black walnut, your favorite.
I love it. I think it's my grandma's favorite. She must have let me have some because you know grandmas do that. Sweet cream base balances out the strong earthy tone of black walnuts, which are very different from the mild English variety that we usually have.
And that was from Alabama.
Alabama.
Yep.
I don't know how that ended up in California, but it was
because
good.
the walnuts came from California.
Well, but black walnuts maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll research it.
Then we got goat's cheese beet swirl.
I picked that just for you.
Oh God.
Because I know how you love beets. Roasted beets
Oh.
made for a sweet, rich contrast in this thick, tangy goat's cheese treat. Goat's cheese to me, it tastes like goat smell. So sometimes I have to be careful about which one I pick.
I've got some goats today and llamas.
Nice.
Yeah,
They're
they're
so
all
cute.
off of Thompson's Road. There's that little golf course there, the Eastern Swab golf course, and they got these bunch of wild animals that I think they go around eating the grass instead of mowing it, and they come out and look at the cars go by, and
Oh, how
they're
cute.
they're pretty cute.
I love goats.
And next to last is lobster. Hey, of course, it's got to be from Massachusetts.
That's exactly right. And this has it's ice cream. It's a butter ice cream topped with cooked lobster. I could handle that probably because the butter ice cream, but I don't know if I want
butter ice cream. Yeah, so it's like dipping like your lobster into
drawn butter.
Yeah, drawn butter.
Okay, so if you hang on, last one.
Last one, I like this one.
I do too.
If it is what I think it is,
it is.
Okay, Honey Jack and Coke.
Dolores, this one's for you. This boozy batch is made from honey whiskey custard. And if that wasn't enough, it also gets a generous drizzle of Jack Daniel's infused honey.
Where do we get this?
We have to go to Wisconsin.
I'm going.
Okay.
As soon as they
probably...
let us travel. Where do you want to go first, honey? Wisconsin.
Why?
What, for the brats? No. Honey Jack ice cream.
We have to go to Ben and Bill's Chocolate Emporium. No, that's the other one. This is Big Deal Burgers. Yes. So now, Phil, if you had, this was it. Live or die. You had to have one of those.
Live or die?
Well, your choice is if you want to live, you need to pick
live or die.
Yeah.
It's a live or die. What kind of ice cream is that? Ice cream with liver and die in it? I didn't know.
I wouldn't put it past it.
Somebody made liver flavored ice cream. Oh.
Yes, well.
Out of that one, I'll go with the last one.
Yes.
No, forget that one. Another one. Keep going.
Another one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah. Out of this list?
Yes.
Jesus. All right.
Let's be adventurous.
I'll be no. Oh, okay. No, I won't be adventurous. I'll go with the cereal milk.
I knew you were going to say that. I'll go with the Vietnamese coffee.
Yeah. Depends on what they make which cereal they make it out of.
Well, it's usually cornflakes, and then they put some cornflakes in the ice cream. So that's not bad.
As long as the Tony the Tiger cornflakes. Yeah.
Now, on to some innovation we need to talk about. So first we've got the ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And now we need to... Ice cream carts... Let me just preface this a little bit before we talk about it. There were ice cream carts in the early 1900s that went around New York. So I want you to keep that in your mind, and then I will tell you about something in a moment. So back to... That's right.
That's what they look like. I copied some pictures off the internet because I know that Brendan... Barbara would never have seen one of these.
No, I never saw that.
They might have seen a Good Humour truck. What we're showing them here,
but not the cart.
Is the Good Humour cart, and they used to go up and down the streets.
And the guy's got the Benny Hill way.
Well, we had a Good Humour lady.
Oh, did she have the same outfit but with a skirt?
No. I think she had the pants on and stuff like that. That's a pretty hard job because it's summertime in New York, hot, humid, and you got to push away this cart that probably would have weighed quite a bit.
And you got to make sure the kids have the money.
Well, you got the little thing with the belt with the little
click.
change things. Remember?
Oh God, I forgot about those until you just said that.
Yeah, and then the only good thing was that when you open up the top where the little compartments were, you get all that rush of cold air coming out of there, and of course, they're not refrigerated. They used to use dry ice in there.
Yeah. It was a really good innovation to keep people nice and chilled because in the early days, you'd have ice boxes or not.
Yeah,
and
they had the little church bells on that. So.
I mean, only Catholics apply.
Yeah.
Had to hit it at the right time.
Then we had, like the ladies used to, and she used to, I don't know, she had like, maybe she wasn't from New York because she used to say something's pretty funny. We used to always make her say, what was it? A toasted almond. She couldn't say like toasted almond like we would say it. She would have like a little twang.
Oh, did she do the almond?
Yeah, toasted almond. That's it, toasted almond. We have toasted. And my friend Johnny, what was that last one again? Toasted almond.
Yeah. Of course, Johnny's involved in this. Right. So we're going to go back to the 1904 St. Louis World Fair, which we have talked about a few times with innovations. And there was a Syrian gentleman named Ernest E. Hamwi, who is believed to have invented the ice cream cone. Now, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah, because he ran out of ice cream cups or something, right?
Yeah, so next to him was an ice cream seller.
No, he was the waffles. He was the ice cream. He was the waffle guy.
He was the waffle guy, right? Oh, okay. And the stall next to him was the ice cream seller, and they ran out of dishes.
There you go.
So he's like, as a favor, he rolled a waffle to hold his ice cream, and the ice cream cone was born. Now, this is why this was such a miracle, Mr. Hamwi, because prior to the Good Humour carts, the other carts that they had, they used to have the ice cream that they would scoop,
Yep.
and they'd have dishes, right?
Right.
So they'd give you a dish of vanilla, like vanilla and chocolate. You'd eat it, you kind of lick the bowl, and then they'd reuse the bowl.
Oh, nice.
Nice, yeah.
If-
Right.
If I would have a dog, like, here, hey, give it a dog, let him lick it.
I've got a story about that too.
Yeah.
And they, so all of a sudden, when this was happening, tuberculosis and all sorts of things
popped up.
popped up in New York, and the ice cream cone not only helped solve that problem, but
Yeah.
it was environmentally friendly.
Yeah, because there was no waste.
That's exactly right. So now, Brenda Neal was one of my mother-in-law's bridesmaids. She
Mhm.
was a bit of a kick. There's lots of funny stories involving Brenda Neal, but what she used to do is if one of the kids got an ice cream, she would make sure that no, you have to share it with all of us. Right. So she'd get all the kids. So it wasn't her ice cream, but she just organized it.
Yeah.
So she got all the kids in a circle and the dog. Right. And she would organize it that the poor kid who bought the ice cream was the first person after the dog to lick it.
How big was the dog?
I don't even know. But I thought that was, so that's very much like this cart sanitation. And my grandmother, so she was born in 1914. So this has to be like 1920 or something. There was a neighbor down the road, this lovely old man, and he would make homemade like strawberry ice cream and stuff. And the kids would go down and have ice cream. So my grandma and her sister and her brother. And then they'd they have a bowl of ice cream, they leave. And then one day they stayed a little bit longer. They must have been chatting, and they saw what he did. So they had their ice cream dishes. He put them down on the ground. The dog finished
Cleaned them up, yeah.
and then he stacked them back up and put them in the cupboard. She never went again.
No. But dogs could really clean out an ice cream bowl. I remember we used to go for frozen yogurt, when we lived in California. It's got to be cool there, right?
Yep, Tiger Yogurt was my local.
So we had a boxer, Rocky.
Yeah, I heard about Rocky.
Right.
It's beautiful.
So we used to, go for frozen yogurt. Of course, we had to take him, and we bought him one also. And then he would be licking the ice cream, and all of a sudden he had to stop. He's got a brain freeze. It's like backs off. Like, oh
no. Poor Rocky.
Yeah.
I also remember the cheese story that I heard about. Didn't he like a good bunch of cheese that your sister-in-law bought?
He bought, he would just sit there and just drool, and of course you have to feed him. I mean, I had puppy dogs.
He was a connoisseur.
Yes.
So,
and he also,
yes.
Okay, when I worked from midnight, from 4 to midnight, and then drive home, or if I didn't go to the bar after work or whatever, and get home like 1 a.m. and then just got home and I had to have a beer and something to eat. Of course, he would just join me every early morning. So he was my companion there, and then we both went up to sleep.
Oh, beautiful. They're good guys.
Okay, now we go on to the 20th century here almost. Mr. Whippy is here, and I guess where you live, because we had Mr. Softy in New York.
Right. Okay.
And then, but before Mr. Softy and all that, because that was like the big refrigerator truck, soft ice cream was, the Good Humour.
Yeah, and that's all we had. But ours wasn't called Good Humour. Ours just had, it was.
This is Bungalow Bar.
Oh,
Bungalow Bar competed with Good Humour. It's another picture I'm showing them there.
So that's why I've never heard of them, because Good Humour won?
No, this was just like a smaller franchise. So they did like the same basic truck. Only thing, they put like a little top on it. It looked like a little bungalow. So it was like a little house. And then like the door for the driver was like a little picket fence.
How cute.
Yeah. So, but we used to go, Bungalow Bar, tastes like tar, Of course you have to think of something. But, they used to roam the neighborhoods also.
Well, and ours sort of looked like the Mr. Whippy truck, but they had no soft ice cream. So ours was like Good Humour.
Yeah.
Where we just, so as opposed to here, where it is gelato and soft serve ice cream, there they opened their freezers and you got a bar of ice cream. So like the ones I remembered were push-ups. So they were like an orange sherbet. They had the Flintstones on them. And they had like a straw at the bottom, and you pushed them up.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, like a rocket cone, I think we used to call it.
Yeah, and then we had fudgesicles.
Fudgicle.
Yes. And
you watched Laverne and Shirley.
Yes.
The Fudgicle.
And then creamsicles, which we called 50-50s.
Yeah, it was orange and vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
That was a nice combination.
It was.
Like creamsicles.
That was the only time I liked like
That was
orange
better
flavored
than fudgesicle. Yeah, exactly. Me too.
because it was refreshing. It had a bit of
Yeah.
both.
Mhm.
And well, they're calling them firecrackers because I looked at a photo of it. We called them something else, which I can't remember, but it was the red, white, and blue. It looked like a rocket.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that was like it was blueberry.
And that used to come out around 4th of July.
Yeah, blueberry, lemon.
that was like
and
an Isis.
raspberry. Oh, well, see, Italian
Yeah.
ices are another.
Well,
thing.
there would no, but that firecracker when we used to have it, that was like basically frozen ice. You know, it wasn't an ice cream.
No, so like there's ice milk as well.
Yeah.
So Mr. Whippy, or not, sorry, the Good Humour truck was the first Good Humour can't speak. Invented, I need an ice cream. The first ice cream on a stick. And there was also a Good Humour law, or an ice cream van law that had to be passed in some cranky town where the neighbors were,
So they can't ring the bells from 12 noon
before 12 noon.
Before 12 noon or after 7 p.m.
I used to tell the kids, like, that just means it's empty. Hear the music, they're out.
Yeah.
That's it.
I remember I told Jeanette one time, it was like, I don't know, April or whatever, and living in Jersey, and I heard like the ice cream truck. I said, oh, I think I hear it's the first sign of spring. She goes, what, did you see a robin? No, the ice cream man.
That's exactly right.
Okay, that brings this ice cream bit to an end. We're going to finish with licking that off and then get into the milkshakes.
Ooh, just don't make me chew.
And here we are, on to the milkshake and the evolution of the name of a milkshake, because that was sort of a late starter, because there was ice cream and then there were ice cream sodas. So the first time we saw it in print, the name was about 1885, but this was an alcoholic whiskey drink. How terrible.
Well, I did that. You know.
What did you do?
Yeah, well, you remember Johnny and Donna, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So they came over our house when we lived in Jersey. And then one day we decided to mix up ice cream with Frangelico.
Ooh, nice.
And we went through a whole bottle, I think, and a half of Frangelico and about a gallon of ice cream, put it in the blender, the two together. And I think we ran out of Frangelico, then went to Amaretto.
That's another good choice.
Gosh, it was so good.
Well, this says in the 1900s, or 1900, the term related to a wholesome drink.
Well, that was wholesome. You put the alcohol in, yeah.
That's right. These had chocolate, strawberry, or vanilla syrups, or Frangelico. By the 30s, they were a popular drink in malt shops. So that was sort of the typical soda fountain of the period.
Yeah, just like you see on TV.
That's
or in
right.
the movies.
And you get
went
like
to the mall shops.
That's right. Even late ones like 90210, they went to the Peach Pit.
Yeah. Well, we never had anything other than what I mentioned last week, Fuffy's, the pancake parlor, and Jan's ice cream. And that was our two things.
Your places. That's right. So now you remember, did you see the movie The Founder?
No.
Okay, but do you know about Ray Kroc and McDonald's?
Oh, okay.
So he's the founder. He is pretty much behind
the milkshake
because he was selling blenders.
Yeah.
And so the blenders, he, went to McDonald's. That's how he first went to them, trying to sell them milkshake machines. And then it went from there where he ended up, let's not talk about the poor McDonald brothers, but that's how it sort of became part of popular culture. Because milkshakes are actually extremely good for business.
Yeah.
Because they're cheap.
Yeah.
Because they have so much air in them.
Yeah, because it just fills it with air.
That's right.
Same thing with ice cream. Ice cream is filled with air. Soft ice cream.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you do it, and Sonic says it's one of their highest volume revenue producing areas. And about, let's see, the market research states that about 75% of the average priced $3.38 restaurant shake, that was 2006, was profit. So 75% profit.
Yeah, probably the cup costs more than the ice cream.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And that is why all of a sudden that would be a very popular thing.
But see, like, I don't know. I was never an ice cream milkshake guy other than that time out in Jersey. Because, I don't know, like people will go to McDonald's and have a milkshake, and a hamburger and fries and all that. And it's just too much. It's too heavy. Yeah. It's like a meal itself.
Yes. So I usually, although last night we did make a run to get a good milkshake, and then we hadn't had dinner, so I had a hamburger with it, and it was too much. Because
Yeah.
usually if I went and had a milkshake, I'd just have a milkshake. I
Right.
wouldn't have any other food
Mhm.
with it. And when I was a poor student, that was good because there wasn't money for both.
Yeah, and it did fill you up.
Yeah, it did, and
Yep.
it sort of. I was an ice cream soda fan too, so
Yeah.
I would go that way a lot.
It's just like being on a liquid diet.
That's exactly right. The liquid diet you can gain weight on.
Yes.
Now, what I found that cracked me up. I love restaurant diner lingo.
Yep.
You know how they yell things out. So there's milkshake lingo, which I
Oh.
never knew. So burn wine all the way. It's a chocolate malt with chocolate ice cream.
Yep. So it looks like it burnt. Yep.
Twist it, choke it, and make it cackle.
I love that one.
It's a chocolate malted with an egg.
Yeah, that would have been really healthy for you.
Yeah, because you got the malts and the egg.
Yeah, and salmonella.
That's right.
Not-
Maybe
not
if there's
salmonella.
enough sugar to because sugar can kind of cook egg.
Yeah. Now going back to the milk and the egg, right?
Yes.
My mother used to make me as a kid. She used to get milk,
Mm-hmm.
sugar,
Mm-hmm.
some vanilla essence,
Yes.
and an egg, and then one of those little hand beater things.
Yes.
Whip it up and give it to me to drink, and it was really good.
I had those. I
Yeah,
remember
I never
that.
got sick from it, And this was the days when eggs were eggs.
Yeah,
Before now they're like pre-tested before they leave the egg farm.
well, I don't refrigerate my eggs because they changed the rules.
Mhm.
You used to buy them in the store up to about a year ago or 2 years ago, just in the open
Right.
section, right?
They're still there in the open.
No,
section,
they have to all be refrigerated now.
Mhm.
They don't.
So after thousands and thousands of years, all of a
That's
sudden
right.
yeah.
Yes, so I still don't do that. And my friend Anna, she said her mother, because she's Italian, she's Sicilian, her mother used to make the same thing you said, but she added a little bit of masala to it.
Oh, yeah.
If she wasn't feeling well, that would
Yeah,
help her feel
help you out.
better and sleep, probably.
Yeah.
Now, there's a shake one in the hay, which is a strawberry shake.
Can't figure that one out.
I know.
right?
And a white cow,
Yeah, vanilla milkshake.
vanilla milkshake.
As opposed to a
Absolutely.
black cow, which is a root beer float.
Yes, that would be right.
Now we're going to go into our next little bit.
Yes.
So we're going to merge them back together. It's just like the ice cream. When he thought he was finished with it, they pulled me back in. Okay. So we're pulling back in the ice cream now.
Right,
And going to
okay.
merge it with the milkshake.
Right. Well, which is a milkshake essentially, but yes.
Yes. If you let it melt. So
So-
we'll start off with the most expensive.
Okay. Now, for ice cream,
Mhm.
George Washington spent, so in 1790, so imagine what $200 was worth then, spent on ice cream in the summer of 1790.
Wow.
So
It's like $5,000 now for an ice cream
he
cone.
must have really liked it.
Well, either that or he had it with the guys on the boat coming
That's
across
it.
into Delaware.
Or maybe
maybe it was delivered. You
Now,
know?
crossing the Delaware was cold, so it
Yeah,
had to be
well-
after that. Maybe Thomas.
Well, they had no refrigeration then.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so-
There we go. Okay, but he said summer.
Yeah.
And the most expensive milkshake is
Mhm.
the Lux milkshake, which is sold for $100. This is 2018, so it's $100
Yep.
in New York.
So you got Jersey milk.
Yes.
What's the difference between Jersey or Long Island? The cows don't know where they are. All right. So you got Jersey milk,
Yes.
Tahitian vanilla ice cream.
Right.
I know that's like the most expensive vanilla you could get is from Tahitian.
Yep. And I think the Jersey milk and the ice cream are both imported,
Mhm.
so you got that cost on it.
Yeah. And then from England, they put in Devonshire clotted cream,
Yes.
which looks like cream but with big globs in it. Okay? And then we got more vanilla, so Madagascar.
Well, now this says the Madagascar vanilla beans are the most labor intensive to grow. So,
Sort of like that coffee we were talking about the other day that from.
do we have to
From
talk
Valley.
about the
No,
coffee
no,
that gets
no.
digested
Okay.
and then pooped out?
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Right.
And then a 24 karat gold, edible gold carrot. They do the little flakes and put it on there. I could never understand that. Like, why would you want to eat a metal?
Yeah, and it seems to me like a waste of gold.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
why
it
would-
doesn't weigh nothing. It's like.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. People are
It's-
being fancy.
Yeah. Fancy's fancy. And whipped cream.
So the whipped cream, that I think is imported as well. So yes.
And then the La Cremosa Bolzona Donkey Caramel Sauce in English, whatever language that was, I guess.
Sounds
It's
Italian.
a rare sauce that is sweet and unique in flavor. And it's made from Venezuela cocoa, Piedmonte hazelnuts. That's from
Hazelnuts,
there,
yes.
fresh donkey's milk
Ugh.
and cane sugar.
You lost me at the donkey milk.
Well, that's why they call it donkey caramel
Caramel.
sauce. Yeah.
And good old maraschino cherries, but these are special ones. They're produced in Luxardo, Italy, and they're dense and chewy with a sweet tart flavor, made with prized marasca cherries and preserved in the fruit's famed liqueur.
Sounds like a big meal for $100.
Wait, but you know what we're missing?
What?
The cup
Yeah.
is actually covered in about 3,000 Swarovski crystals. So
But
not
you
only
don't get to take the cup home.
no, well, if you paid $100 for it, I'm taking the cup home.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
So yes, I think that's a little bit ridiculous. But what do you give someone that has everything?
I don't know if they
Have
go
a
for
donkey
a
milkshake.
donkey milkshake. Yeah.
Yeah, because America really took ice cream into as an American thing, even though we're number 2 on the list. And looking at things, there's lots of beautiful quotes about your life would be sad if you had never tasted ice cream. Ice cream is like a hug, and it is. It's like exciting. So it actually hits a lot of our pop culture. So, for example, even going back to Betty Davis, all about Eve. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night. So it was used to describe sort of virginal, sweet, young people. So she has a bit of competition with another woman, and she orders a martini. She goes, now she'll have a milkshake, meaning that girl's just a kid. She couldn't possibly deal with it. And then
shorthand for sweetness and goodness.
That's right. And coming out of Betty Davis's mouth, it's
Then you got Pulp Fiction.
I love this line.
Yeah. I don't know. This is also, we got to be.
We're not going to say the whole thing.
All right. The $5 shake. This is when they're in that little
they're going to
cafe.
dance.
And
I think Steve Buscemi and Pee Wee Herman are the waiters.
Yeah.
And they've got Martin. So Dean, what was it? I can't remember names.
Oh, playing
Martin and Lewis were the shakes.
Yep.
So she goes, I'll have the $5 shake. He goes, a $5 shake.
Yeah. That's a pretty good shake,
That's exactly right. Because I didn't taste a $5 shake. Now, do you remember City Slickers?
Yeah, yep, a bit. I'm not a movie buff, but anyway.
There's this really good scene because when so Billy Crystal is out on a dude ranch sort of thing, which is ridiculous.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes,
show,
right.
Yeah.
And there's these 2 guys, which are probably supposed to be Ben and Jerry. They've got an ice cream sort of, empire.
Yeah.
And they're talking to each other. He goes, what are you doing? He goes, oh, my brother can pair the perfect ice cream
with your meals,
to
right?
any
Just
meal.
like wine.
Yeah. So he goes, go ahead, challenge him. He goes, oh, I don't know, Franks and beans. And he goes, ugh, scoop of chocolate, scoop of vanilla. Test me. And he throws the plate across. And he goes, sea bass. Yeah. And he goes, grilled? He goes, sauteed. Au gratin potatoes and asparagus. And the 2 brothers look at each other like sweating a little bit on the nose. And he goes, rum raisin. He goes, oh, I thought you nearly had me there.
Well, speaking of Ben and Jerry's.
Yes.
On our last trip back to the East Coast.
Yes.
So we been up to New York, then we took the train up to Montreal, and then up to Quebec, and then back down, and then we took the ferry over to Vermont.
Oh, lovely.
From New York, upstate New York, across the Lake Champlain to about an hour ferry ride. So we end up in Vermont, and then we end up going to Ben and Jerry's.
I did not know this story.
Yeah. It's a bit of a disappointment. You go all this way in the middle of nowhere, and you go to the thing, and it's like takes like a half an hour to go to the little spiel, and they give you a little taste of ice cream at the end. And we came all this way for this.
I'm sorry. So that's why sometimes it's good not to meet your heroes, because it could be a disappointment.
Yeah. But if the original Ben and Jerry's were still making the ice cream, now it's owned by it was owned by Pillsbury, and I think
Streets has it here.
Yeah, I think Streets Streets might be owned by Nestle. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's no longer the good hippie type guys, but if they were still making them, you know what flavors they'd be doing
Oh,
now?
there'd be some 420 specials. I
It
know.
would be, yeah. We have the 420, which is passed. and,
Yes, we'd have some different gummies in there
yeah,
and some.
the
Yes,
TAC special, you know.
we would now. Do you remember Eddie
I'm
Murphy?
sure somebody's making those ice creams somewhere.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
especially in California where
Yeah.
it's like a whole menu. So Eddie Murphy did this great ice cream bit. Do you remember this?
No,
I think it was in
no.
Raw.
Delirious.
Oh,
Delirious.
delirious, right? So he's just saying, like, he grew up in the neighborhood where, he was a bit poor and the ice cream truck would come around and his kid would go, I got an ice cream and you don't have one. Your mama's on welfare. Your daddy's an alcoholic. It was so funny. And it goes on forever. And actually, he looks and he's using the microphone as the ice cream and he drops it. He's like, And Brendan had to bring this one up because I try not to think of the Village People because that was an era I don't need to remember, except for YMCA was a good roller skating song.
Macho Man.
Didn't like
Macho,
that.
macho.
They did the milkshake. And the worst movie ever that our friend Simone loves, they're all white.
Yeah.
It was the Village People movie. Can't Stop the Music, I think it was. And they sing the milkshake. And if you want to see the worst choreography and like solid gold dancers in the background, you need to watch just YouTube that one. It is atrocious.
Macho Man. Yeah.
Not nacho, macho.
Nacho. Yeah. Somebody was on Facebook last night, right? And it was taken off like a Channel 9, and she was making some Mexican thing or trying to, this person, and completely annihilating whatever she was making, And
Did you call them jalapenos and tortillas?
Oh, I don't know, but it was disgusting, because they think they know what they're doing. Okay, they have no clue what Mexican food is supposed to taste like, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so I, of course, had to comment back, and I'm sure, and I put down maybe next week she's making tacos. Maybe she's making tacos. Because they can't say tacos, and they can't say nachos. It's what did they say? Machos.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Make your beef pie and go away. Sorry, that's my rant for today.
Well, we nearly didn't have one.
That should be a new.
Yes. Okay, producer, we need a rant of the day.
Rant of the day.
Yes, that's all right. You usually get one whether you want one or not. So
yes.
it's okay.
Bury it in the show.
Yes.
Well, we can end this, and what's next?
And next is Nat Nosh.
Aha!
Ooh, a love like mine, you know that love is true.
And we're back with some hours, addresses, and if you want to come see us in person, you come down to 73 Cochrane's Road, Moorabbin. We are open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 5. Friday, 10 to 6, so you can get in there a little bit late. Saturday, 10 to 5, and Sunday, 11 to 5.
Now, me and Barbara are in the shop most days.
Yeah.
So you could, if you ever drop in, you want to say hello, just say somebody at the counter. They'll come fish us out.
And now there's a young lady that works in our shop named Mackenzie, and she said this lovely customer came in and said, I love your podcast. I listened to it. I said, did you find out their name? She went, no. So whoever you are, thank you very much. And make yourself known, and we'll give you a shout out as well.
Okay. Now, just a little reminder what we talked about at the beginning of the show,
Yep.
so you could go rewind it to get the whole thing but we talked about our listener discount, so look out for that logo, the purple one that Barbara mentioned.
Yep.
And also the secret code of the month now is smile. Okay.
You don't have to sing. You can just write smile.
Just smile. And don't forget that also all the codes that are on all our shows are still usable for one time only.
That's exactly right. Now, also buried in there will be a short window promotional item. So this is a special one, and you need to listen carefully. We won't know where it is.
And we don't know when it's going to happen.
No.
So it's not going to happen on every show.
Yeah, so that's right. And this item will be specific and it'll be good, either like a higher discount or something special. But that is going to have a limited time. So you need to get on that one.
Yep.
Pretty soon, because it'll tell you when it phases out, unlike our other ones that are one time only, good all the time.
And don't forget, get in touch with us, podcast@usafoods.com.au, and we have some feedback.
So now I was talking to my mom. She liked the in-store show. She thought it was great. She loves you as always, as you
Mhm.
know she does. But she said it was just really nice actually hearing the different people and where they were from and what they were getting. So she thought we should probably do that again
Yeah,
sometime.
no, I think we will do it again, and probably the next one will probably around 4th of July.
That would be good. It's a fun day.
Yes.
We had a good time. It flew. So she was very happy with that, and we had Liz Jay, who is a frequent commenter. She is a big fan of Phil, which is lovely. Now she thought the inside store idea was really interesting, so that's good. She was glad that Jack and Renee made it from Gippsland. Excuse me. And we were talking to Stuart and Lola, remember? And Lola and I were both Wednesday Addams.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who the baby was. Liz has told us it's Pubert Adams was the child that Stuart couldn't remember.
Oh, I thought it was Ace.
No, that's his own child, and hopefully he remembers him.
Oh, okay.
Ace was dressed up as Pubert,
Yep.
and she's really happy. She thinks the sound has improved.
Yep.
And yes, I do know the way, Phil. I just haven't been there lately. I'll get there again someday, honest.
Where was this? San Jose or somewhere, or the way to the shop?
The way to the shop.
Oh, I thought it was.
Because-
Still knows the way to San Jose. I thought, you know.
Well, she probably does as well. It's just
Yeah.
harder getting there now.
Whoa. All right, let's continue on with National Food Holidays.
That's nosh, as we like to call
Okay,
them.
we're going to condense this because we took out all the ones we don't want to talk about.
Well, some of them repeat themselves a little bit.
Yes.
Some of them are just silly, as you know.
Yeah.
We say these things.
So today on Wednesday, May the 7th.
So Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, and that's a big holiday in California.
Well, it is. We do sort of appropriate it a bit, but it's an annual celebration held. The date is observed to commemorate the Mexican Army's victory over the French Empire at the Battle of Puebla on the 5th of May, 1862, under the leadership of General Ignacio Zaragoza.
There you go. So there's the history.
And so all the people, it's like, you know how we become Irish for a day, St.
Yep.
Patrick's Day? We just sort
So
of
on May the 5th,
we become Mexican for a day.
yes.
There's tequila.
With a big sombrero, get some tequila.
There's some tacos,
nachos,
all of
yeah.
that. Yes. So we do that. It is a lovely partying day.
Yes. Okay, now we just skip all the way down. We do Sunday, May the 9th,
Yes.
National Butterscotch Brownie Day. I
Yum.
never had a butterscotch brownie.
Haven't you? I will make you a butterscotch brownie.
On Sunday, May the 9th. Okay.
Well, okay. If you want to do that to me, I shall do that to you. And
Mother's Day.
that is Mother's Day. I'm
That's
not bait.
Mother's Day?
May the 9th is Mother's Day this year.
I can't tell you the next story. I'm sorry. I'll tell you that off the air.
We need to have a over 18
No,
special.
no. It just be we'll just be canceled by the culture.
Okay, we won't do that.
Unfortunately.
Okay. So maybe May 8th I'll make you a butterscotch brownie.
Okay.
And May 9th also, which is good for Mother's Day, is National Moscato Day. Not my favorite wine, but you know how I love a good alcohol day.
Yes.
You can make a frozen one.
And on May the 10th, a very special day.
It
It's
is.
St. Barbara's Day.
That's right. That's right. It's National Shrimp Day. So I do love a good shrimp.
Mhm.
So I can do that if anyone in my family wants to cook for me that day. That would be great. And it's also the day that the Intercontinental Railroad met in 1869.
Oh,
I only know that because of the date.
okay. And then on the last one, I love it, May the 11th, National Eat What You Want
Yeah.
Day.
Don't
all right?
listen to any crap about whatever. Just
Yeah.
eat
Eh,
whatever, the
whatever
hell
you want.
want.
You know, like you come home and it's like, what do you want to eat? I don't care. Whatever you want. You know, we eat the same thing every day. Whatever you want. I don't care. You eat. Just eat what you want. all
That's right. Bowl of cereal for everybody.
Yes.
I have done that. In
Okay.
protest.
So next week's show
Yes.
is everybody's favorite chocolate.
Oh, yum. Chocolate everywhere all the time.
Okay. So there we go. We did the Campbell's version now, the condensed.
That's right.
The Reader's Digest.
Yes, that's
And I
right.
think we did good time. We're probably I don't know about you, but I'm talking faster now.
I am too. I always talk a little bit faster. Now, the sign off, I had to go back to my youth.
Actually, Casey Kasem.
That's exactly right.
Now, Casey Kasem, I was rewatching The Sopranos, and his name came up in The Sopranos.
Oh, did it?
Yes, with Arthur, you know, the guy that runs the
Yes.
restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was something
All right.
about it, and he's because Chris's girlfriend left being the bartender, and he was in love with her.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the guy goes, Tony goes, you know, and he says, "Oh, if I was younger and had hair," he says, "You could have hair like Casey Kasem's. You'll never make it with her."
Phil and I managed to have a Sopranos conversation at least once a day because we both adore it. So Casey's sign-off was, I can't do his voice.
I can't do his voice
Keep
either.
your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
I remember that. All right. See you next week.
I love my barbecue. Once you find a love like mine, you know that love is true. Understand, I'm just a man with a pork fat baby back blues. Yeah, understand, I'm still your man with the pork fat baby back blues.